Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Hub Day. Hubba hubba hubba. Hubba Day. It's Hubba Day. Do 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 do. Oh, she did that. Could do that. It does need something. Let's see. I don't think anybody's gonna be here today. At least like threads everywhere. Let's see. Let's see. What did she use? What brown? I could use vintage photo. Right? And this. Possibly. Hi, Pam. Hi, Candy. Hi, Marguerite. So wonderful to see you on this beautiful, wonderful Hub Day. I hope you're doing well or faring well or muddling along as we do. I'm a great mudderer. Muddler. Hi, Kathy. Muddling along day by day, right? Time marches on, so to speak. And yeah. So I think last Wednesday, I think I started the Daphne Diary journal. It's a journal that was made out of the Daphne Diary magazine, and I thought it was brilliant. I mean, I've looked at the magazine numerous times now, and every time I go through it, I'm a little bit more impressed with it. It's and I gave the wrong credit to the wrong person. I said it had been Natasha from Treasure Books, who I had watched on YouTube, and it was Nina Rabina. And if you're not familiar with her, I would definitely check her out. So she's got a whole series of YouTubes that she basically alters or takes the magazine and makes a journal and then goes through the magazine and harvests and cuts pages and rearranges stuff to put in a journal. Now, I think it was last Wednesday where I attempted to make the journal and it was a total flop. Hi, Andrea. And I don't know that you remember or not. Okay, Marguerite. The ribbon I had, or the sorry ribbon I had, wasn't wide enough and the glue didn't hold. So I said, well, back to the drawing board. And I remedied it by reducing the spine from 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch, and that allowed for the sari ribbon to fit. And then I stitched it. Now I'm not a great stitcher, but it worked, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. And I'm very happy with how it turned out, actually. I'm pretty pleased with myself. I had to do some other alterations, but here is the journal, and here is the spine. And I love this binding method that she uses. It's so easy. It's it's like you can take the papers in and out and work on them. And it's just yarn. And she used 3 strands of yarn. So I used 3 strands of yarn and wrapped it around twice to give me, thank you, Kathy. So it gives me 2 signatures that I can slide in and take out when I'm working on it. And then you just tie it together like that. And then here you can see where I stitched it. And then I put, folded paper in half. And I just used, and this is the bottom half of the cover of the journal. And then I just filled it with my the papers that I had laying around. This is some rusty paper, and this is a perspective drawing pad. and the old ledger, and I've bought a whole ream of cream colored. Oh, okay, cream colored paper, which I love printing on because, especially if you want to print something out that's kind of oldish, you want to give it a little color. So I'm finding printing things out on cream colored paper instead of white printing paper works. And this is a coffee dye paper and a couple of dictionary pieces. This is my last piece of mulberry paper, and I love this stuff because it's got stuff in it. I don't know if they can see that or not. It's got pieces of stuff. And then you got to have a doily. And this is a coffee dyed doily that I did. And this is some rust paper. And this paper, I bought a roll of the paper that, they use in a doctor's or dentist's office. And I bought the dentist. This is kind of the stuff they put on the chair behind your head. So I have a whole roll of it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I know mulberry paper is, and even the folder that it came in is gorgeous. And this paper here is a pad of, I don't know, you can't see the lines, but this is an old pad. I've had this forever, but it's a pad that has lines to practice calligraphy. And I've had that, oh my God, 20 some odd years. But anyway, so that's one signature, right? Like so. And then here's the second signature. That's a little bit different, but, similar, some more rust paper. I did this with Colleen and Kathy. We got steel wool and we mixed it, I don't know, with vinegar or whatever, and it just made a rusty, luscious mess. So that's my rust paper. So, and this is a big old envelope. So and so I have two pretty good sized signatures. Yeah, I've only, of course, I bought it on Amazon, the mulberry paper, and then I bought the wet tissue paper, but Mariah of P&M Studios said to be careful because it's not as strong as the Carnival brand, and I guess it's the Carnival brand of wet tissue paper that's hard to find, and that's very expensive because this wasn't at all. The other thing I bought was railroad board, and Becky looked it up for me on Sunday. It's whiteboard, it's poster board, and I got 20 sheets of that, and it's 22 by 28, and I want to do the Dee Dee thing where she folded it up, and also I'd like to do where Dee Dee did those beautiful folders. She had an Asian one and a Da Vinci one and a nature mystically one, and they're really big. And I'm thinking, again, I'm still kind of thinking through the Roaring Twenties journal and still gathering stuff and trying to figure out where I want to put it. Do I want to go small? Do I want to go big? I don't know. So, you can get mulberry paper from Blick. Okay, that's good to know. Welcome back, Marguerite. I'm glad you could make it. So, I had a wonderful birthday weekend, I guess. It turned out to be one of the best. I don't really, birthday's another day, but this is a big one. This was the 75, 3/4 of a century. And it started out with, I got a text from a gal that I taught with at Holy Trinity. And she said, hey, you want to meet for coffee? And I said, sure. And there's a nice little coffee shop at this mall. It's not a Starbucks. It's just a nice little coffee shop. So I met her for coffee. And then she'd invited another woman who I hadn't seen in a while. And so Pat showed up. So we talked for about 2 hours. Great visit. That was Monday morning. Sunday, I hung out with my son via internet. He's in Cape Cod, and I'm here. Monday, I went up to Cape Canaveral and had the last hurrah at Sean and Mo's before they move. And they took me out to dinner. We went to a Thai restaurant, and I had sushi. and came home Tuesday, a little worn for wear, I guess, maybe a wee bit too much drinking, and don't recover as quickly as I used to. I've got to be more aware of that. But and then today at Dee Dee's, I put in 75 as my new number, and darned it if I didn't win a set of her stamps. So I was pretty excited about that. And I got a beautiful card from Barbara Clark. And of course, this card is probably going to end up in this diary. It's beautiful. And then a beautiful ATC card inside of it. So I can glue this in, or cover that up, but it's just a lovely card. I love these colors. And then there's a woman, Cindy Patton. I think Patton is her last name. And I'm going to say hey to her because she lurks. And I don't know whether she lurks on Wednesdays, but she lurks on Sundays. She just can't craft anymore. She told me in her letter, but she watches all of us ladies and she enjoys watching us. And so she knew that I was working on a Roaring Twenties journal. And so she sent me a whole bunch of goodies. It says, been watching you, enjoy you a lot. I saw you're going to make a Roaring Twenties. Hope you can use these. Your paper dolls were very good. I love to craft and like watching you ladies. Judy Patton. Sorry, Judy. So these are, she must have a die cut that makes these little Roaring Twenties people, because she sent me the die cuts so I could actually stencil. So I've got some of them. There's the martini glass. And so I thought that was really, there's a little flapper girl, you can see. So she sent me all of the, I don't know what you call these, but I know they have a name. I know, isn't she, Aunt Bex? She is the sweetest person. And she's watching us, Oh, and here are those die cuts. So apparently she was quite the crafter in her day. Hi, Barbara. I was just showing everybody your lovely card. And of course, from Aunt Bex, everyone saw the cotton knitted washcloths, but I'm sorry, Aunt. Hi, Kathy Berg. I haven't been able to, I just can't get them wet and put soap on them. And I will. So here are those die cuts. Oh, that's cute. So anyway, that's what she sent me. Fab 50s. Okay. But I thought that was real sweet of her. And I always send her a Christmas card. And so I thought that was lovely. What else? What else is new and exciting? Not much. Talked to my friend Nancy, and Nancy is the woman that we met the first day of kindergarten. So we've known each other since we were 5 years old. And I told her, why don't you come in? And I was trying. People don't understand what we do, but I tried to explain to her what happens in these live streams. And I said, why don't you come? And she can't come today because she's going to look at a place that she's probably going to sign a contract for. She's going to move. And I said, well, come Sunday. I marked it down on the calendar. And I said, when you go into chat, just say, hi, I'm Nancy, Ann's friend from kindergarten. And I told her that the chat is going to light up because I know you guys will welcome her with open arms. And so hopefully she'll show up, and hopefully when she identifies herself, you'll jump on it. Let's see. Don't make me go down there and throw them. I won't. I don't know what's wrong. Okay. I will. I promise. I promise I will. Don't make me. I don't want to force you to come down here. Oh, well, we've got lots of stories. I mean, we only talk to one another maybe once or twice a year, but there was a lot of time, a lot of things that we did as kids, and and we were pretty good. I mean, we never really got caught, but we did some, uh, not bad things, but mischievous shenanigans and such. So, anyway, I've been following Nina Rabina, and I've been going through the first issue of the Daphne's Diary for 2024, and I got volume number 2 arrived in the mail the other day, and so this has got a lot of Easter stuff in it, and well, we never did. I mean, yeah, those are stories that I can maybe tell when Nancy's here. But this has got, again, nice, really quirky stuff, and another poster, and a lot of Easter Bunny stuff. So I love this. But Nina has also gone through it. She did a fairly, I want to make this. Can you see this? Cauliflower soup with mushrooms. Does that look luscious or what? And then who wouldn't want some mashed potatoes with bacon, cheddar cheese, and fresh parsley? I don't know who could turn that dish down. Not me. So I will be harvesting this, and I don't know whether. Hi, Kimberly. I think I'm going to merge the two instead of making a separate diary for each. I don't know, for each issue. That seems foolish. And there's whatever this is, but see, I like this little quirky girl here. And anyway, and look at all the roosters. Colleen would love this. Rooster figurines. I guess you can collect them. So, yeah. So there's, again, a lot of Eastery stuff in here. And so I'm probably going to follow her also. She kind of got me started, and have an idea, and I've pulled some pages out, and I made another journal out of pages that I had out when I was putting that other journal together. And this one's not bound. It's just one big signature. But these are pages from the Daphne's Diary. So this is just a whole bunch of rust papers that I've made. And this is a drop cloth that was on my work table that I stenciled. That was Becky's suggestion. So I painted over it and stenciled, and some coffee, and so this is pretty chunky. And this, I don't know what this is going to be or what's going to go in here, but I think it'll probably be, oops, you can't see that. It's pretty fat. Probably going to be like a 1 signature thing, or possibly a 2. I don't know, but I was messing around with that. So, and I did some little stitchery things, and playing with my sewing machine. I'm really enjoying that sewing machine, I have to say. No doubt. All right. So let's get started. I've done a lot of pre-cutting just for the sake of time. And I'm going to use this as my glue thing. So one of the things that she did, there was a 2-page spread in the magazine, which I tore out, and I didn't have to tear out. I've got to remind myself that I just need to take a picture of the image in the magazine and then upload it to my Google Drive and then put it in Google Drawer, and then I can manipulate it and print it out. And I don't have to destroy the magazine, which I did. These were the 2 pages that were in the magazine. and it's Millie is going to visit her sister. Irma, do you know where she lives? And yet they have all these clues that you read through to figure out where Irma lives. So Irma lives here, if you figure that all out. But this won't fit in the journal. So Nina said, well, she shrank, reduced hers down to 70%. Hi, Janet. And I did that too. And I've fussy cutted that out. So I think that'll be the first thing I glue into the journal. And we'll pick a page. You never know what to put here. And Kathy, these are the rust papers that we made in your stream that one time when we made a bloody mess with rust. So maybe, I don't know, let's put kind of, this is that big thing, 70%. So I'm going to glue that on for a little thing here. And we'll stick in Millie, the giant bunny. I wonder if she's related to Harvey. Yeah, so that's the first thing I'm going to glue in. I think this is actually, never thought of doing this. I think it's really a brilliant idea to take a journal like this. It's got a lot of eye candy and make it, take the magazine and turn it, and harvest. I'm sure people have done it before, but to specifically harvest, the pictures and put them in a journal and literally take the cover. Now, this is the back page of the magazine. And I don't know if you remember, the initial cover paper was very flimsy. So I literally folded the back page in half to give it some sturdiness. And for the front page, this was supposed to be one cover and this was supposed to be the back cover. And I ended up gluing them together to give them some strength, so to speak, because they were a little on the flimsy side. So that's mine differs a little bit in, I don't think this is where I was because there's something else that needs to go there. Yeah, we'll stick her here. That's probably not where we were, but it doesn't matter. It's a blank page. It'll become a problem as it fills up, right? Well, oh my God, I love Nina Rubina. I tried to, when I downloaded the image onto my computer and you hit the open, the print button and it opens the screen and it shows it at 100%. And you would think you could change that 100% to 70% and it would print it out in 70%. Well, I tried that first and it didn't work. It printed it out 100%. So then I had to go back to the drawing board and approach it a little differently. And I got this. What I did was I took this picture and had it print. There's a button where you can say, "Hi, Teresa." You can tell the computer, the printer, how many copies you want of this particular image on one page. So that's what I did. So this was side by side. It was just two, and I cut one half of the paper, which gave me, I don't know whether this is 75%. I'm guessing it's 50% if I cut it in half, but it seems to fit fine. Yeah. And again, you all know I talk about Google Drawings all the time. It's part of the Google Drive apps that do so much neat stuff. I don't know what to do with that. I'll stick it here. Or, no, that's okay. We can cover that up. And of course, if you're not familiar with the Google Drive, I highly recommend downloading Google Drive and going through it. It's like Microsoft Word, but it's free. It does everything the Microsoft Word does. Microsoft has the spreadsheets and PowerPoint presentation stuff. Well, the Google Drive suite, which you have to which is in Chrome, offers all of that and much more. And what I love the most is the drawing program, in the sense that you can put photographs in there and change them. You can change their size. You can change if someone's looking to the right in the photograph, but you really would love to have them look to the left. You can just flip the photograph. Let's see. I just bought the home and student version. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Barbara. I'm so sorry. It's good stuff, but this Google Drive is better. In my opinion, and I've used it for years, and it's got all of the same bells and whistles and more, and very user friendly. Yeah, but but you probably a Word person anyway, right? A Windows person. We all started out as Windows people. And I migrated over to Chrome. I run Chrome on my MacBook. Every once in a while, Yahoo sneaks in. No, you decided you couldn't live without Word. Well, yeah, but all I'm saying is in Google, they have Google Docs, which is the exact same thing as Word. It really is user-friendly. It really is. Yep. It's very intuitive. Nettie! Oh, you just bought Word. Okay. Well, sometime when you're not busy, maybe you can just take a peek at Google Docs. And they have Google Maps. You can, say you were going on a journey, a road trip. You can get a Google Map, and then say you could plan out your entire itinerary, and like say you were going to stay at the Fairside Inn, and you went to the Fairside Inn website and you clicked on it, copied a picture, and you could drop that picture of the Fairside Inn on the Google Map in the town that you were going to stay in. So you could build a whole itinerary map for a trip with pictures and everything. I'm going to kind of ground this a little with the Stabilo. I need a little bit more glue. I always miss the corners. I don't know about you. It's good to see you, Nettie. I always miss you on Thursdays. By the time I get here, I think you've been and gone. I'll use a little bit. I used to use it a lot when I was teaching. They had a educator's version. Come on, stays down. What's your problem? But I highly recommend to take a look at it. I think all you'd have to do is type in googledrive.com. I don't know whether I want to add water to that. I can't remember whether she did or not. Well, we'll leave it for now. And then I'm going to put the words that are on let's see. And I'm going to stick these up here. Millie is going to visit her sister, Irma. And I'm going to rim that in red. Hi, Carol. Sure. I have made a journal using Daphne Diary magazine, and this is the first issue for 2024. And hi, Miss Allie. And I've been following Nina Rabina, and but there's many other journalists that take this magazine in particular and turn it into. This is a 2-signature journal that I've made, and now I'm literally going through and cutting up the magazine and making journal pages that represent stuff that's in the magazine. And I've been totally inspired by Nina Rabina, and I'm almost ready to venture out on my own. Yeah, but she's got a playlist, and she's got, like the spring issue from 2023. This is 2024. This is like more current than the others. Some of them go back a couple of years. Carol, I was looking at the rocks, or is it rocks? Stones. Oh my God. It's amazing how they, hi, Cindy. Good to see you. They're like so smooth and shiny. And I know they weren't that way when you picked them up. They are amazing. And I can just see you, wrapping them in silver or, wires and making necklaces and drilling holes. The colors are just stunning. And I think you said that, I think you had a picture a while, not this most recent picture, but I think you had a picture a while ago that just showed, like one run through. And I think the ones I saw recently may have been rolled a couple of times. Yeah, it is transformational. It's amazing. Because I know they don't look like that when you pick them up when you're out rock hunting. Now, do you take the rock sometimes and, Owen wants a rock tumbler. I bet you he does. Do you sometimes, like, will you pick up like a big rock and break it like with a hammer and see like the quartz inside of it? It takes weeks. Yeah. That's a lot of tumbling. Yeah. I bet. It's pretty cool though. It's very cool. Very, very cool. So my friend Nancy is going to see I think I talked to you a little bit about this, a retirement community out on Long Island, because that's where she lives. She's been on Long Island. We grew up on Long Island, and she's lived in Southampton out on Eastern Long Island for forever. And this place is in right at the kind of the fork where the two forks kind of go out. It's located in the Peconic Bay, which is like right in this area here. And so that's where this community is. And it's an interesting community. And apparently she had to go through a physical. She had to be interviewed by their doctor, their nurse practitioner. She had to produce financial reports that would prove that she could support herself until the age of 100. That's the criteria. And she's getting what they call a cottage, which is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath little house and 2-car garage. And all the cottages that she'd looked at up until this weekend had been dark, very dark. And she said, I don't want to settle. I just don't want to settle. I want to get what I want. I mean, it's very expensive, as you can imagine. Living on Long Island is very pricey. And so they sent her a video of a cottage that was very light and bright. So that's the one that she's seeing today. And she said, I intend to sign a contract when I get there today. She's passed all of the tests. When she was being interviewed by the doctor, this is kind of scary and funny. The doctor said something to her about having kidney disease. And Nancy said, kidney disease? Where is that coming from? And he said, well, the code. I know. He said, well, the code that we typed in for whatever blood result that she had, or whatever numbers they were using, says you either have kidney disease or you're fine, you have nothing. And well, Nancy said, I have nothing. And they both kind of laughed, but that's kind of scary. I know. I thought that was a lot of vetting too. I mean, and it's interesting. The cost of these cottages are in the $500,000 range. But again, it's Long Island, in the eastern end of Long Island. And I said, well, who is there? I said, is there any negotiation in the prices? And she said, no, the prices for the homes in this community are regulated by the state of New York, because it is a retirement community, which I thought was interesting. So, the price, it's priced at what it is, and there's no talk about it. That's it. I know, I thought it was a lot of vetting too. But she passed all of the tests. And then, so there's my little first page. I think it needs something else. I might maybe cut out some little white puffs of clouds and stick them in. And maybe a little splatter, but I think it's cute. I like it. Okay, moving right along. They have a lot of pop-out things. Yeah, well, Nancy was very successful. And hi, Cindy. Loves jewelry and paper arts. She basically, she worked for Mackenzie Phillips, which was a big research company in New York City. And she's the only one of my friends that actually had a job related to her degree. She had a degree in economics from college. And when she turned 62, they eliminated her job. They said, we're just not going to have your job. Her job was to recruit and train young prospective people that were going to be finance advisors in this massive company. And they just, eliminated her job. And at 65, you would get full medical for the rest of your life. And they let her go at 62, which that happens in the real world all the time, unfortunately. And I mean, they gave her a pretty good, severance pay and all of that, but no medical coverage, for a while, until Medicare and all that other stuff kicked in. And but she's had a very good financial advisor, has made some very good investments, and so she's in a position where she can move to Baconic Landings. And Oh, really? They did that to her the day after? See, that's illegal. You can't, you know, you can't do that. I mean, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but boy, that's a no-no. Oh, that's nasty. That's horrible. That's horrible. So this was a punch out that looks like, if I can find it. No. Nope. Nope. Here, this is what it looks like. It's an envelope, and you punch it out. But there's something wrong with it, because if you look at this picture, hey, doggy, you belong over there. You can see that the background of this right here is this. But there's no way you can fold this and have that. Because if you fold it this way, then you got this, and that doesn't work. So I printed out a copy of this, thinking I could cut it and stick a piece in like that, but I don't know why it came out so small. So I don't know whether I'm going to stick that in there or not. And then I have a card that I'm going to stick in there. And she did not have a way to get home. Oh my gosh, how awful. Jeez. That's just, yeah, that's just not right. And what kind of recourse does she have? Probably none, right? So I guess I'm going to, so this is going to go like that. And of course, it's going to go in the journal like this. So it'll be on, you know, but I have a postcard that I'm going to use. And I have one of these little adorable Ukrainian dolls that are in the magazine that I'm cutting out. And I'm going to glue that on this beautiful picture of this focaccia flatbread that has been decorated with parsley and black olives and cherry tomatoes. Hi, Teresa. Good to see you. Becky, are you on this afternoon? I'm not sure whether she is. So I hope everything goes okay for Nancy. She's got another, you know, a while ago, several years ago, she was having some pretty serious health issues, which are now all gone, been resolved, or she's better, or whatever you want to say. And she had this woman move in, the youngest woman, and in her house, and she had refinished the basement, and down in the basement was like a complete apartment, a kitchen, dining room, 2 bedrooms, bath, all of that. And this woman lived down there and kind of drove Nancy around and did stuff. And then, you know, Nancy really didn't need her anymore. And the woman was not really anxious to leave. She wasn't working. Nancy paid her, you know, when she was caring for her. And then Nancy finally said to her, you know, you got to get a job, you know. And of course, now with Nancy moving, this woman's got to move. And the woman has one very mean, nasty dog and 3 cats. And initially, Nancy, the woman had suggested that they rent an RV. Her family's in Utah. That they rent an RV and load up the dog and the cats and drive cross country to her family, or where she's going to go. And then Nancy could fly home. And Nancy said yes to this. And I said to her, what the F were you thinking? She said, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I'm not doing it. I can't do that. That's ridiculous. So anyway, she envisioned, I don't know, picking me up, or I would fly out and meet up with her, and we would drive back across country. Not me. I said, just you don't get behind the wheel and drive a huge RV. I mean, there's a bit of a learning curve there. So anyway, what do you think? Is the background too busy? Would it be better if I put little dots well, I can't bring her out too much. I could outline her, right, with Stabilo, because she's got to go in that envelope. But anyway, I'll glue her down. So, and then, the woman said, well, I need time to pack. And Nancy said, okay, I'll pay you. Give notice. She works in a retail store. She's not, just, a retail store worker. So Nancy said, okay, I will pay you a month's, whatever you're making for a month, I will give you that money so you can pack. And I said to her, Nancy, I said, it's going to take her a month to pack. And Nancy said, I don't think so. But that was Nancy's, offer. And then when she talked to the woman the other day, Nancy said, have you given them notice? And she acted like she didn't know what Nancy was talking about. What notice? Put her on the edge. Put her on the edge. Like that. Yeah, I like that better because you see more of this. Yeah, good idea, Barb. Thank you. I will. A doll on the edge. That could be like a thriller, right? A doll on the edge. So this woman acted like she had no idea what Nancy was talking about. So, well, when I got off the phone with Nancy last night, she said to me she was going to give her notice and said that she's got to be out by May 15th. And so we'll see. I said, you better stick to your guns. So I hope it all works out for her. And she had her washing machine spraying a leak unbeknownst to her and flooded the whole hallway and the basement. And they had like those acoustical tiles in the ceiling for the basement, and they were all, they were falling down because they were saturated with water coming from the washing machine. So Nancy's got to get that fixed before, obviously, she can show the house. And then this woman said, I'll do it. Nancy bought all the material, and this woman volunteered to do this. So Nancy went downstairs yesterday to see how far she had come. She hadn't done anything. All she had done was tag up white sheets over the ceiling. And that's all she had done. Nancy said, I was livid. And the woman said, no, I got some done. And I said to Nancy, I said, is this woman handy? She said, no. And I said, well, why would she even say that she could do the ceiling tiles? And Nancy, well, it's not that hard. I guess it's not. I mean, if you're fit enough to get up on a ladder. Yeah, living on the edge. Oh, it's always bad. It's actually, I'm on SteamYard, so I apologize for that. Normally, I'm on YouTube, and I don't know whether the lag is as bad on YouTube or not. I have a feeling that it's not. but I could be wrong. I'm gonna wet the edges and see what that does. I got some old water over here. Okay. Just a little. It kind of brings it out a little bit. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm not a spitter. Why can't I ever think of the woman's name? Jenkins. She's a spitter and to smear the Stabilo. I don't have that much spit. Hi, Joyce. Oh, okay. You think it's at your end? Okay. Whoop, do 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 do. Ah. Oh, Ann. Gee. Oh, come on. All right. So there. So there's the little girl. These are adorable. And they're made by an artist in the Ukraine. And Daphne, the woman who's Daphne. Emily, hi. I did you'd have to go to Kathy Berg's YouTube channel. And I don't even know how long ago we made, how long ago we did the rusty paper. But I'm sure if you went online and said, how do you make rusty paper? I'm sure you could find videos because they were following somebody else. And it just sounds good, the kind of paper you use. But I used this paper and I used regular graph paper. I tried several different types of paper. This is like a cardstock paper through a stencil. Yeah. And it's the reaction of the steel wool. And I know there's a video that they watched because I watched the video, and the video tells you actually what kind of steel wool you have to get, because there's different grades of steel wool. And in that video, it says you need whatever the grade of steel wool was. It mentions that. So I would just Google making rusty papers, and I'm sure. It was great, Nettie. It was, I would say, probably one of the best. I got birthday cards from my son and 2 grandsons. And I think I told everybody on Sunday how funny the birthday card I got from Callum, who was the youngest of my grandchildren. I laughed my ass off when I opened it, because here it is. 18. And on the inside, it says, "You're amazing, awesome in a million different ways. Hope your 18th birthday is the best ever. Happy birthday. You're 18, right? Love, Callum." So he is 9 years, oh, he's 8 years old, going to be 9, and he is a stitch. He is so funny. But that's his sense of humor, sending me a birthday card for an 18-year-old. He's the guy. And then I got a beautiful bouquet of roses and flowers from my other son. So, well, it was really nice. And I got to have coffee with some friends and went out to dinner and drank too much and partied too much, and I'm now finally getting my sea legs back. I overdid it. You'd think I would know better, but you know, the old saying from my mom, if you can't be good, be careful. Well, I was careful. Well, I guess I wasn't careful. At least I wasn't driving. I was not driving. I've learned, I mean, I haven't done that in a long time. I mean, there was a time back in the day where, you know, people didn't think anything about drinking and driving. I know. You struck gold, Kathy. Where did Kathy? Let's see. I was down. Ooh, lucky you. You're Rusty Bits. Good for you. I know, Nettie. He is a scream. He is a card. He really is. I know, 29, 18, yeah. Now, I had at one point, you know, made a birthday card for him, and I'd put the wrong year on the card. I had him a year younger than he was turning, and I don't know whether this was kind of like a payback for that, you know, I don't know. Or he just liked the card and just thought it was funny. And it had nothing to do when I had kind of inadvertently put the wrong birth date on his birthday card one year when I made it. So he's going to celebrate his birthday on the cruise, Nettie. So it'll be interesting to see what or if anything they do for him. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to have to tell them, but I didn't even realize it was the cruise guy that I set the reservation up with. He's the one that said, "Oh, Callum will have his birthday on the cruise." So we'll see. I thought I'd give this just a little color, and maybe a little color down here, because that's pretty stark white. And I have to say, this was a bitch to pop out all of these things. And because Nina Rabinin didn't say they were a bitch, she said they were a little fiddly. Well, I'm telling you. Because, you know, she wouldn't say that word. At least not on stream, but you guys know me. I have no problem with that. This is an adult channel. But fiddly my ass. Yeah. All right. I don't have one of those fancy ink blenders, but I'll glue this down, and then we'll glue the thing together and then stick it in the journal. I mean, there's a lot of really, I know what I'll do. There's a lot of good little bits and stuff in the magazine that, and you know, when I go through it, every time I go through it, I see, ooh, I can cut those out, you know, or ooh, I could cut that out and put that on a page. So I don't think it'd be too hard. And maybe I'll do like the first signature, I'll use this magazine, and the second signature I'll use for the second magazine. I got a year's subscription, and it's 8 issues, which is a little bit better than Somerset Studio, because I don't think they have 8 issues. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that's better. All right, I like that. I like that. And then let's do that here around this too. I'd like to make that bread. I love that kind of bread, the focaccia. You bake it in a cookie sheet, and you put little dimples in it, and then you kind of brush it with a lot of olive oil and coarse, like like the real coarse salt, and then you bake it. Now, what they did was they baked this first, and then they added all the veggies. In the magazine, they've got about 3 or 4 pictures. They're absolute works of art. You wouldn't even want to eat them because they're so gorgeous. And this postcard is from another new magazine I subscribe to called Strawberry Moon. And it came with 2 postcards. And so I'm using that as the backing for this page. All righty. So let's see. How we doing on? Oh my gosh, it's 1 o'clock. Oh, I got to go, guys. I'm so sorry. I've been blabbering on and working like crazy and wasn't paying any attention to the time. I have to go and learn how to bid a baby slam. So there you go. So thank you so much for being here today. Another hub day, another week. I'll see you all on Sunday at 5. And hopefully Nancy will be there. And I didn't see whether Aunt Beck said she was streaming or not. If she is streaming, it's usually around 1:15, 1:30. If not, I'm sure she's posted that in her community page or maybe said something here. I'm not sure. So thank you again for being here. Have a wonderful week. And be good, be careful, and be interesting. I like that. Be interesting. Aren't we all? Bye. Bye.